So they're not speaking to you before they look at your resume, right? So I need to know if Hassan is technically capable of doing this job. Does he have the hard skills for this specific position, right? So I would say focus more on hard skills than soft skills in your resume to
so
show that you are competent.
What's some more examples of like hard skills versus soft skills?
I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag.
What's up? You are now listening to FYI FLI, the podcast, and I'm your host, Hassan Thomas, along with Remy, and we are here to share tools on how millennials can budget, save, invest, and understand student debt and credit to achieve financial freedom. If you're a high school student, college student, or someone who's interested in gaining more financial insight, this podcast is for you.
I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a bag. I'm trying to give me a
What's up, my FYI FLI folks out there? How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing all right. Welcome to the FYI FLI podcast. My name is Hassan Thomas, aka the kid that did and the man that can, baby. And today we're gonna be chopping it up with six-figure entrepreneur, the founder of Spark Your Resume, and the chief marketing officer at Right C, Mr. Leander Howard II, baby. How are you, brother?
Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's get it, man. I appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir, bro. It's been too long, man. This is long overdue.
Long overdue, bro. But I feel like it's perfect timing, man. That we've been doing a lot these past 2 years, man. So congrats on all the success with the podcast, man. I know you over here killing that.
Appreciate it, bro, man. And you know how we do things on FYI FLI. We really like to skip the fluff and get right into the good stuff. That sound good?
Yes, sir. Let's do it, man.
Bet. So before we dive into your marketing bag, into your resume bag, I'ma just come out and ask, bro, straight up. What was that turning point for you where you knew it was time to shut down your business and join one of your friends' businesses, the Right C? You already know that was gonna be my first question.
Yeah, man. I think a lot of people, man, would think I'm kind of crazy for doing that. And just to give you a backstory, man. So
I was about to say,
Right C, yes. So Right C is really a platform that was founded by Brandon Mitchell, he was on Earn Your Leisure. And when I was starting Spark Your Resume, we just kept in contact over the next 2 years. I was giving him game on what CRMs to use, all the marketing things that I was doing to pretty much get customers with cold email and LinkedIn. And he was just taking gems from me, using the stuff I gave him. I'm using the stuff he gave me. And then he was like, yo, I'm about to build this tech platform for resume writers and career coaches. And I was like, all right, folks be talking. So I don't know, bro, like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, all right, let me know when it's done type.
Perfect.
Right? So he built it and he showed it to me. I was okay, this all right, it's pretty solid. And I actually became a customer of Right C. I was using it for my business before I joined. And then I think March of 2022 is when I actually signed a deal, became a co-founder of the company. And then 9 months later, we raised 2.5 mil. And then
Okay. I was gonna say, correct me if I'm wrong, bro. So just for practical gain for the listeners, it was realizing that y'all have a combined and aligned goal, and that goal could be bigger together than separate.
Right.
Is that what the turning point was?
Yeah, I think, mainly, yes. Because I lacked certain things that they had, and they lacked certain things that I had. So combining made us powerful.
A monster.
A monster, pretty much. Yeah, there you go.
So
it just made more sense. Yep.
For everybody listening, apply what he just said to your life for the opportunities that come across your life. And that's really, honestly, what we're here to do, is to provide value that y'all can leave with and implement to make better decisions. So, bro, I want to go ahead and jump into what my listeners can do to really get their resumes right, to land that job that they actually want. So from all the clients that you've worked with your own business to now what you're doing with Right C, what would you say makes a great resume?
When it comes to building a great resume, I think it's a few things that you want to focus on, right? The first thing I would say is format. When recruiters and hiring managers are looking to hire a qualified candidate, they're more than likely looking at your resume first and then maybe your LinkedIn profile. But what I will say is that people naturally see before they hear, right? So if it's just like lightning, right? You see lightning before you hear thunder, right?
Facts.
So like having that visually formatted document to where it's enticing me. It makes me
Gotcha.
want to read it, right? It needs to be formatted correctly, right? And it's like spacing, margins. The outline is like your name at the top, right? You got your email address, phone number, LinkedIn URL, your location, and you might have like a professional summary to encompass like your entire experience in a paragraph to give like a background of who you are. So that entices them to even read more about your experience. Have your skills section. So I like to tell people to list more hard skills than soft skills on the resume, just due to the fact that I'm hiring for most likely a technical need and that anybody can say they're good at leadership, right? Those are things that I would pick up on throughout the interview process. So you got to understand the stages of the job search process, right? So they're not speaking to you before they look at your resume, right? So I need to know if Hassan is technically capable of doing this job. Does he have the hard skills for this specific position? Right. So I would say focus more on hard skills than soft skills in your resume to
So
show
hard
that
skills
you
would
are
be,
competent.
What's some more examples of like hard skills versus soft skills?
Yep. So like if I'm a designer, right? So Adobe Photoshop, right? Adobe Acrobat, maybe
That's hard
Canva
skills
could
that
be a
you
hard
can really
skill.
do.
They do. Right. Exactly. I mean, I am
Gotcha.
technically competent to use these tools to produce images, videos, whatever the case may be in the creative space.
Understood.
Right? Now, a soft skill would be teamwork, leadership. I'm able to collaborate, like work with other group of designers to come up with creative ideas and concepts. That's a
That's gonna help
soft
a lot
skill.
of knowing the
Now,
difference.
no, 100%. Now, soft skills are very, very important. I would honestly think like when it comes to leadership, right? And now me being a leader or executive at a tech startup, my soft skills are more important than my hard skills because I'm hiring people to do the technical things on my behalf, but I have to set the vision for my team. So I need to have high level soft skills, which is leadership, teamwork, collaboration,
Makes
documentation.
sense.
I think it's like knowing how to like organization and project management. And that goes back to the resume, right? And when you're creating your content. So the next part of the resume that's important is the content, right? So actually the words that you're articulating your experiences with. So say, for example, I put on my resume, I'm a CMO at Right Seed, right? I'm writing things that I have done that has contributed to the overall growth of the company. I don't
Gotcha.
care about just your task or projects. I care about how those tasks or projects impacted revenue, impacted growth, impacted conversion rates, right? Because that's what's going to let somebody know that, hey, I'm a valuable person and I can do the same thing I've done for Right Seed for your job, for your company.
So you think that should be, or should it be, from your experience, should it be in a single line? Is 3 sentences too much? Should it be a single line, like
Right.
point?
Right. So I got this formula. So it's an XYZ formula, right? So you start off with a strong action verb to let the hiring manager and recruiter know that you owned every task or project you completed, right? And the Y is actually like what you did in the job, right? So you're stating the project that you've done, like how you did it. And then the Z is the result, right? So it was the result of you doing that task or project. So that's how you should come up with your bullet points. So strong action verb,
Gotcha.
list the task or project completed, and then highlight the result of that task or project. So that way you're painting a clear picture. You're painting a clear picture, man, on how you contributed to the overall growth of the company, which entices recruiters and hiring managers to want to interview you. Because remember, the goal of your resume is to get an interview. You will not get hired off your resume, solely off your resume, without somebody talking to you, right? Nobody's going to say, hey, Hassan, I love your resume, you're hired. It doesn't work that way, right? They're going to say, hey, Hassan, I liked your resume. I would love to learn more about your experience. Schedule a time to meet with me here. That's the process. So you got to understand the job searching process to know how to maneuver throughout your job search experience. And then
So
you
it
can
started
also
with-
list like your, oh, my bad. So you can also list your education, right? So you have, so for me, I have 2 degrees, one in marketing, one in finance. Now, the only reason I would list my education on the resume is if I'm an entry-level graduate. If I already had 1 or 2 jobs post-grad, my experience outweighs my education at this point, right?
Even if it was you went to a really good school, so even if it's a good school, after that, it really don't matter no more.
I mean, Not necessarily, in my opinion, man. Like, because like your degree was 5 years ago. You know how much, bro? Chat GPT just came out a year ago. Yeah. You know how many things changed from 5 years? Like, that degree don't matter. The things I learned in 2020 is not relevant to the things in 2020.
That's fact.
You know, so me putting my degree now, if that's only if I've done 2 to 3 jobs already, because now the things I've learned in those jobs are more relevant because those are present day projects and tasks that I've done to contribute to the overall growth of the company. Yeah. So I would recommend, like, when I was writing resumes for like mid-level and senior level execs, I would put your education, just don't put your date. So excuse me. I would put your education, I just wouldn't put just the date you graduated.
Networking, alumni type.
Exactly. Affiliations, right? We call those affiliations, right? So like if you're in a fraternity or a sorority or you graduated, you're in a club, right? That makes people want to know you. So like I pledged the business fraternity, right, called Alpha Kappa Psi. So if I see that on somebody's resume, then I'm more inclined to reach out to them because they're a brother in my fraternity, right? So that type of stuff matters. So affiliations, education. I don't really like to put like interests and hobbies on there. I mean, you're applying for a job. I feel like they can learn about your interests and hobbies once you get hired. I don't think that's really relevant for a resume. But yeah, I would say first name, like you got to have your name and your don't put your address on your resume. That's one mistake that I see a lot because your resume can be passed around across multiple partners. I'm in the business, so I know how job boards work. So please do not put your resume. You never know who's going to see it, right? Your address on your resume, you never know who's going to see it. The city and state is more than fine. And I recommend, like, if you live in the suburbs and you have like the capital of the city, like maybe 30 miles away, put that on your resume. Don't put, so I'm from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Like if you wasn't from Georgia, you probably wouldn't know what Stone Mountain is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some people, but nobody really, like, you're not gonna recognize it. But people do recognize Atlanta, right? So I put Atlanta, Georgia on my resume to let people know where I'm located, whether or not I'm living in Atlanta or in the suburbs, 30 minutes outside the city. And that goes for LinkedIn as well. So, so it's more important, I think, I think it's important for both, but even more important on LinkedIn because LinkedIn is a search engine. So if I'm searching for people in Atlanta, I'm not searching for people in Stone Mountain.
Facts.
Like,
that makes sense.
If you got Stone Mountain on your LinkedIn, now you're not even in the search results when people search Atlanta, Georgia, but you live 30 minutes from the city. So
got you.
Yeah, that's a little nugget.
So as you said, it starts with, basically passing the eye test. How does it look? Does it look readable? Does it look interesting? And then once you pass the eye test, it goes to, is the content actually interesting and makes me want to hire you? Is there an additional step, or is those the two things that they need to focus on initially?
No, I think that's most definitely it. Well, I would say when you're making your resume, also look at the job description because the job description is going to clearly outline what they're looking for in the role. So you want to tailor your resume to the job description.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that you're highlighting. Don't just send the same
one out, basically. Like,
I would say most people, like if it's a project manager role, then the task and duties will most likely align across most job descriptions. So I would tailor my resume specifically to a job title, and then still look at the job description to see if you can make any tweaks to make your resume more compatible to their specific job description. Yes. But it shouldn't be too much tweaking if it matches the job title.
So how long should the resume be, in your opinion?
Yeah. So entry level, I would say 1 page. Anything above that, 2 pages. Yeah. I mean, you should only put relevant experience on there. Like, I'm not putting my rack room shoes job I had when I was 16 on my resume. That's not going to help me get a job these days, right? It's just my Coca-Cola. I work as a sales associate at the World of Coca-Cola in 2016. That's not going to help me get a job today. I've already worked at Adobe as a financial analyst. I've had my own business, and now I'm at RightSeed. Those are the only 3 jobs I'm going to put on my resume right now. It's my financial analyst experience at Adobe, CEO, founder of Spark Your Resume, and CMO at RightSeed. I'm not putting anything else. None of it is irrelevant. I had 2 internships in college, but my internships in college are not relevant right now because I've had 3 other previous jobs that's way more relevant in today's market.
Makes
So I hope
sense.
that broke
So
it
only
down a little
relevant.
bit better.
It definitely did. It definitely did. So only relevant information. Don't put your address on there. And even speaking of some of those,
Yep.
mistakes that you've seen, has there been any other common like misconceptions or mistakes that you've seen from clients that you've helped?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the XYZ formula, most people just do the X and the Y. Like just like it's like a doer based statement. Just
Mm-hmm.
telling me like what you did in your job rather than telling me what you achieved. So like,
Mm-hmm.
how are you going to stand out from the competition if everybody did the same thing? Like, if you're a project
Yeah,
manager, we know what project managers do, but what did you do as a project manager that's better than everybody else? So that's
gotcha.
what the result. That's why the Z in the XYZ formula is really the most important because that's what's going to differentiate you from every other project manager or whatever other role you're applying to. Is the
Mm-hmm.
results you how you impacted previous organizations. So, for example, if I'm an account executive and I generated $1 million of revenue and Brian generated 500,000, I'm
Mm-hmm.
hiring Leander because he's generating double the times Brian. You know what I'm saying? Like
Most
I'm trying
definitely.
to make the most money, so I need the best guy in the house in the seat. So
Uh-huh.
I'm
Okay.
hiring Leander over Brian. So make
Makes
sure your
sense.
results speak volume at the end of the day.
I like that, brother. So we both
Yeah,
are huge on providing value, but before you provide value, you have to become valuable. So, in
facts.
what ways have you, like some actionable, practical ways that you've
Yep.
bettered yourself since leaving college?
Books number one, podcast number two. Just
Mm-hmm.
consuming a lot of information, and as you can see on my behind my screen, I got books on the shelf, right?
Yeah.
So I'm always like I try to read at least 10 pages a day. I do miss a couple days here and there, depending on what I got going on. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
perfect, but I'm most definitely getting my information in. Whether it's at the gym, I'm gonna listen to a podcast. I'm in the car driving to work or driving
Mm-hmm.
home, taking a road trip. I'm reading the book in the morning when I wake up, and just learning from people that's better than you. And
And
there
once you
are
got
people
the
that's better than
information,
you.
what you doing with it?
Yeah, so I'm executing, man. So I'm
That's
taking
the
I'm
thing
taking
right there.
things. Yeah, for sure. I'm taking the information and applying it to my life, right? We're like real world experience. So if I see something in the book, say something about sales, right? I'll apply it to my next sales call. See if it
Yep.
works, right? See if what they taught me can actually be implemented and executed and it could change the outcome, right? Of like
Yeah.
from what I've been doing before. Right. So I read books to gain information, and it's honestly the cheapest way to gain a lot of information. Like books cost $20, $15, maybe $30, and you're getting a $1 million worth of game from a $20 book. You just got to take the time to read it, right? So it does cost
So,
you your time, but the
mhm.
return on the investment is far and in between.
Let me give you an example real quick, just based on what you said. So my
Yep.
first book I came out with, From College to COVID, 24 Lessons Learned During the Lockdown. I directly
Yep.
marketed that towards college students via social media. Well, brother, when we was in college, I don't know about you, but me personally, I wasn't getting on social media to buy no book. So
Facts.
I realized that was the mistake I made. So I
Mm.
heard on a podcast, if you want to get your books into schools, they have to be a workbook. So I heard that information for free on a podcast, heard that information, and created my
Mm.
second book, From College to COVID, a guide from college to COVID to recession, a guide to making and managing money during the economic downfall. My second book, I created that as a workbook. So
Nice.
then I took that to the nonprofits. The nonprofits then bought one nonprofit bought 180 copies of my second book.
Dang, bro.
So
Congrats, man.
I appreciate it, brother. I
That's
appreciate it.
hard. That's hard.
So that's just a real practical and real live example of how you can
Yeah.
hear some information for free, change it something that you're doing, and then profit comes from that. So just a real
Right.
live example, bro.
Nah, bro, that's dope, man.
All right, man. So we can't have you on here and not ask our famous final question. I'm going to say two quotes, and I need you to let me know which one is more accurate in your opinion. You ready?
Nah. Yes, sir.
Bet. So the first question is, or the first quote is, more money, more problems, like Biggie. And the second one is, money can't buy happiness. Which one do you agree with most?
More money, more problems.
Hey, you said that a little quick, brother. Why you say that?
Yeah. Man, money can most definitely buy happiness. Like you ain't making enough money if you believe that. You know what I'm saying? That's just a fact. Like most when that direct deposit hit and folks we close these contracts. I am the happiest I've ever been. You
but
feel
I'm
me?
smiling ear to ear.
Ear to ear. But the more money I have made has most definitely brought more problems. I can totally agree with that. But I feel like it's just higher level problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just more things you got to handle, more things you got to control. And honestly, if you put the right systems in place, it could be less things you have to control, but the more you worry about it.
Guys, if they're being taken care of.
Exactly. So I would say, yeah, man, more money, more problems for sure, man. And then it's like when people are starting to, feel that you got a little money, you don't know who to trust. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, girls might, want to have you for your money and things like that. So yeah, man, it's more problems for sure. But most definitely money can buy happiness. Because when we close them contracts, we are smiling ear to ear. 100%.
We lit.
100. Oh no, we're lit.
Oh,
we in Miami, 305 with it.
Man, when next time y'all come, y'all need to let me know, man.
Oh, say less. We got you. Come turn up on the yacht.
Yes, sir, man. But thank you so much for joining the show. If you have any final words, any final takeaways for them, go ahead and also let them know where to reach you, bro.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me, man. It's long overdue. Glad we got to knock this out. Hopefully your audience gets some gems from this. So that's my whole goal, man, is to give as much as possible. So I would say last nugget, man, just I like this phrase. I got this from Myron Golden. Do more, be more, have more. Like,
okay.
That's my motto. When you do more, you be more,
have more.
Yep. When you do more, you be more. When you be more, you have more. So you got to do more. You ain't doing enough. You know what I'm saying? You want more, you got to do more. You want to be more, you got to have more. Do more, be more, have more. You know what I'm saying?
Simple as that, baby. Simple as that.
Simple as that. But now I'm Leander Howard II. You can find me on LinkedIn. It's LEANDER. Last name Howard, HOWARD, and I'm the second, so just 2 I's. That's my Instagram as well. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. All just Leander Howard II. I'm very rare name, so I'm pretty sure I'll pop up. If you want to follow me, man, just check us out. And then RITESEA, it's WRITESEA.com. Most definitely connect with us. Reach out if you're a job board looking to make more revenue and impact, candidates on a higher level. We're most definitely looking to partner. If you know a job board, send this to them, tell them to reach out. And if you're also a boot camp, university, or school, we actually just acquired a company. Yeah, it's pretty crazy that we have a career mobility suite of AI tools that we can leverage to impact schools and counselors at scale. So, yeah, reach out if you're interested. More than happy to chat. And my email is leander@rightsea.com. So, but man, appreciate you having me. This has been great. FYI FLI, man, to the moon.
Yes, sir. So y'all hearing from Leander the legend, baby, right here. First take on FYI FLI. So everybody listening, make sure, we talked about a lot here today, but if you can find 1 or 2 gems that you can implement today, that's when things will start changing for you. Those small incremental habits will have big results over time. So thank you 100%. Again, bro. Thank y'all for listening. And y'all already know what we need. We need y'all to stay safe, stay invested, and stay FYI FLI. See y'all next week.
Peace.
Thank you all for listening to FYI FLI, the podcast, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next week for more financial literacy insights with our special guests. Please visit our website, social media platforms, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at FYI FLI Podcast. That's FYI FLI Podcast. See y'all next week and stay fly.